Good morning for you, and good day for anyone on the call. Excited to have a presentation today about blogging. We get a lot of questions and a lot of concerns from people and clients out there. You know, how should I blog and whatnot. And so the purpose of this blog is to help you shed a lot of light on how to do it effectively and how to get good results about it. So let's just get going. I'm gonna get there you go, my first slide. Sorry, the tough start. So let me just tell you a little bit about me first. I was born and raised in Paris, France. I'm originally from France, and I've been in the United States for since 1989, so it's been 24 years now, so I'm almost American, as they say. I've been an action coach client since 2007. I've hired a action coach, Team Sage, out of Miami to help us grow and make our business more profitable, and it's been working wonders, and we're a client for life. And we've been an action coach vendor since 2013, so we've just developed a program and website templates for action coach throughout the world. I've been in web marketing since 1995, so I was in web marketing before it was popular because I was managing conventions and events for large corporate clients, so we had to do this via emails and online registration way back when people were still sending fax with their registrations. I'm a weekend tennis warrior. My bumper sticker would most likely say, "I'd rather be water skiing." I live in South Florida, and this is actually my son, 8 years old, yesterday, going on water ski for the first time in his life, and this was a grand time for him and I, and that's what I like to do on my spare time. So let me just jump into the agenda. The first thing is really, why do you need a blog? So we're going to address, you know, the reason why you need to have it, because a lot of people sometimes are stuck there. It says, you know, do I really actually need to have a blog? And then if they get that they should, then there is like, well, what does it need to look like? So we're going to uncover all of this. Then we're going to talk about why nobody reads your blog if you already have a blog. And I'm going on the assumption that you don't have a lot of people that read. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but we see a lot of people that have a blog and then they're not getting anyone to read or share or do anything with them. So we're going to talk about this, because this is also really important. We're going to talk about how to blog like a ninja, how to be really effective and really good with your blogging efforts, how to promote your blog, how to do it effectively again. We're going to talk about the blogging mistakes to avoid. We see a lot of those out there, people that are actually blogging, and unfortunately they do it so badly or so poorly, or they just don't really know the recipe how to do a proper blog, that it's just really ineffective. So there's just some stuff that you just don't want to do. Then we'll have a Q&A, and then I'll give you a link with a copy of that presentation at the end, and Eve was talking about that she will be sending that the copy of the presentation to anyone that register. So the first question is, why do you need a blog? To be grounded is ranking high on search engines is no longer something that, you know, would be someday somehow it would be great to have. It's absolutely critical for you to actually show up on the search engines when someone is looking for a business coach or is looking for any type of services that you provide. If you're not, if the search engines do not pull you up, then you are, from a web marketing standpoint, you are invisible. You do not exist. So it's really now critical. Just a few stats that I think are key that you need to know is that 60% of all organic clicks go to the top 3 organic search results. So let me tell you what an organic click, for those of you that don't know. An organic click is a search result that comes up naturally, as opposed to an advertisement search result. When you search for something, you will have some advertised, which are the top 3 on the top, and then the 8s on the side, and then anything that's below that is what is referred to as an organic. It just comes up naturally. And what we know is that, so based on that, the first 3 on page 1 will get 60% of all the clicks. So, and you can look at this graph, it's just really telling, and we're not even talking about page 2 or page 3, we're talking strictly on page 1. So you're looking at the difference between being the 10th listing item on page 1 versus being the first one, and the importance of it. It's just really night and day, and then that is really key to everything that you're going to be doing and why it's going to lead you to blogging. Now, what's actually the second step that you need to know is that 75% of people will never look past page number 1. So if you think about it, if you have if you have 100 people that are going to be searching for, there's only going to be 25 that are going to go to page number 2. 75 will never look beyond that. And if 27% are really looking only at the first link, you can see how the math is really not stacking up for you if you're on page 2 and page 3 and so forth and so on. You're not in the top 3. So the more keyword-rich content you generate, the more search engines will find and love you. This is really what blogging is about. Blogging is only about generating qualified traffic and qualified leads to your website, and that is done via doing writing optimized blogs that are posted on a consistent basis on your website. The search engine will continuously indexing or scanning the internet, is another way to put it. And every time there is fresh and new content that is optimized, they're going to take this, they're going to say, oh, this is relevant to this particular topic, which is business growth, which is how to grow my business. So if your blogs are written about that, you're going to come up in the searches, therefore you will have more qualified traffic and you will have more qualified leads. That is really the key to why your blog is actually so important. This is a stat from a company named HubSpot. They're one of the leading internet marketing tools that are available on the market. There's Infusionsoft, HubSpot, and so forth and so on. Those are the top dog in the industry. They've actually have done some studies and some stats on websites that blog versus those that do not blog, and it's not even close. I mean, the math is overwhelmingly on the side of websites that have a blog by 434%. So they will get just significantly more traffic because they have significantly more index page. It's just as simple as that. A blog is a new page in your arsenal and your tool of marketing that will help you drive traffic to your website. Another stat that is also really important that leads to that is that the companies with more indexed web page get way more leads than those that don't. So you can look at the total number of pages, companies that have 5, 7, 12, 22, 74 pages, and you can see how exponentially it actually generates more traffic and more leads on their website. What I advise people is they should have at least a minimum of 100 optimized pages on their website to generate traffic, and it's just really a daunting task for a lot of companies to actually accomplish that. And I tell them that the way to go about it is just to do it one blog at a time, 1 week at a time. If you start today and you write 2 blogs a week, you got it. At the end of 1 year, you will have 104 blogs, 52 weeks in a year. So it's just, you got to build, you got to get there over time, and it's going to take time. Obviously, you could invest in having some writers write hundreds of pages for you, but knowing the industry, you'll be better off just building it one blog, one new page at a time over time, and then you're going to start to see the traffic and the leads coming to your website increase significantly. So the bottom line is, if Google can find you, neither will anyone else. And Google will find you via indexed, fresh content that is optimized. this is how they find you. This is how it actually looks at you, and it looks at your blog, and it looks at the content of your blogs and the content of your pages on your website. It's going to say, oh, okay, got it. This is what you guys are about. So I'm going to put you here, and I'm going to index you. So if someone is looking for this, I'm going to show your link. And obviously, the more relevant and the more popular you are, the closer to the top you're going to get. So we're going to get to really the meat of it, which is why nobody reads your blog. This is what we're seeing with companies that have an existing blogs, and they're unsatisfied with the quality of the readership or the traffic that it generates. So the first thing that we actually see, and it's the truth is usually the blogs are just really boring. There's just really nothing exciting about it. They're not fun. They're not exciting. They're not groundbreaking. They're not thought-provoking. They're just blah, 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 just more blah, blah, blah. So, the idea is just spice it up. It's good to be a little bit provocative. Obviously you want to take it with a grain of salt. What I'm saying, you don't want to be controversial. Maybe a little bit of controversial, maybe on the edge. You just don't want to, go on the deep end, but you want to push a little bit because that is going to get people reading your blog. And a blog that would maybe be on the edge like that would be shared a lot, that would do a tremendous amount of benefits for your blog, for your website and your company. You keep your blog a secret. We see websites where there's just no apparent link to the blog on the website, like it's hidden somewhere or it's tough to find. Like, make it self-evident. It needs to be one of the key components of your website. It needs to be in the top navigation. It just needs to say blog, and it needs to be evident. If I have to look for more than 10, 20 seconds to the link to your blog, that you're not, you're not doing it right. It needs to really pop at me. One of the that will be, I would say, the vast majority of the blogs that I see is that the blogs is not keyword optimized. So we see companies and coaches and consultants. They are writing blogs, and their blog is just text. It's just not optimized at all. And what I mean by optimized, it means that it is not referencing keywords that would actually generate traffic for you. Business coach is not a keyword that is going to be beneficial for you. People are not looking for a business coach. People are looking for someone to solve their problem with their cash flow, with their hiring, with their staff, with their lack of time, with generating new leads, but they're not looking for a business coach. They're looking for a solution to their problem. The solution to their problems are the keywords, and those keywords need to be part of your blog. This is really how that's done. So we see also other companies that are actually using their blog to promote and announce. So a blog is not a promotion or an announcement. That actually should be a news article or a PR article or a press release, but that's not what a blog is. A blog, by essence, is educational and resourceful by nature. So if I read the blog, at the end of the blog, I have learned something new. I got something for myself that I can either use, or it actually got me to think. But an announcement about a new product or a PR about a new hire is not a blog. And that has no business being in your blog. And if you put that in your blog, it is going to be counterproductive because people are going to be turned off by it. Because people have a certain sense of expectation about what a blog should be, and they're going to be looking for information that is resourceful in nature. So more of why nobody reads your blog is that's where we're getting into the nitty-gritty, is your titles suck, aka they're boring. A blog starts with a great title, and we're going to talk about how to do this and talk about some examples. But a lot of time the titles are just really like blah. It's just more more of the same, more blah blah, and it's just not really enticing. This is a title is really what pulls people in to read some more. They blog once a quarter, maybe. Sometimes we see websites and it's like, well, wow, you blogged in last June of 2012. That's great, you know, and but that's just not enough. That certainly is not going to be nowhere near close to how much blog you need to produce on your website. Blogs don't allow comments. Your blogs don't allow comments or the ability for people to share them easily. You know, if I have to jump through hoops that I want to share this blogs, I should have a little button that I click on. I press on it, and then it opens up immediately Facebook, and I can post it there. Just make it easy for me to post a comment. You need to allow comment, good, bad, negative, whatever comments are. Comments are really important. You need to allow people to comment, and you know, even if it's going to be bad, you just need to allow them. I would recommend that you filter that, because if they are, sometimes people try to use the comments to post links to their own website, so you want to have a little bit of editorial rights, but allow comments. People use blogs to sell their stuff. A blog is not an avenue for you to sell your services. It's an avenue for you to be resourceful. If you need to sell something, that you need to create a flyer or brochure, but a blog is not a place for that. What we see also is the website is ugly. So the blog is great, but you know, the context that it's set in is just really like, oh boy, it's just not really up to date. The layout, the colors, it's just everything is really so 5 years ago. So you know, you need to make sure that you have a look and feel that's actually crisp and professional and that looks good. And then the last one is the blog is not mobile optimized. What we actually know is that the vast majority of blog readership happens early in the morning around 7 o'clock, and it's all done on a mobile device. You know, people commuting to work, they're either in a bus, in a car, they shouldn't be reading that, but or they're in an airplane, in an airport, wherever they are. And if your blog is not mobile optimized, then it's going to make it very difficult for the person to read it, and they're most likely going to move on. So it needs to be mobile optimized. You'll be surprised as how many times people will save a link and will go and read it later on when they're sitting down waiting for something. Like an airport or wherever they are, and then they'll or at a friend's party or in a restaurant, and they're bored and they'll be reading the blog. So it just needs to be mobile optimized. I mean, right now in today's day and age, your blog needs to be mobile optimized. It needs to be able to read it effectively on a iPhone or Droid or whatever device you use. All right, so let's talk about how to blog like a ninja. And we talked about the title. Which is your title suck if you have a an existing website. Is what we're seeing. We're seeing blogs that are titles that are not really great. So a great blog starts with a great title. And what we've seen, which is really interesting, is negative titles draw more attention than a positive one. And that's, you know, that's a bit surprising. So, you know, here is one of the things that we're talking about is if you have your title as 5 mistakes to avoid versus 5 ways to improve. We know that the 5 mistakes to avoid will probably draw twice as many clicks than the positive one, 5 ways to improve. So it's just, I don't think it's really surprising to everybody, because everybody sees that and they're saying, yeah, of course, you know, I can see my own behavior, what I'm pulled towards. If you see something like, you know, the 5 ways you know you suck or something like that, you will click on it by curiosity. I just, you know, like to see that as opposed to things that are there to improve. So it's just really interesting fact. And what we recommend our clients is just don't all go negative, but you might want to do, if you're going to have 4 blogs, then you may want to have 2 that are really negative in tone, like mistakes or things. You may want to have that one that's middle of the road and that one that's positive, and track it. You know, see which one is getting more traffic for your website, and you're going to be surprised. You most likely the negative in tone are going to generate more traffic. Now, your title needs to be keyword optimized. So in the same way as we were showing the 5 mistakes to avoid, then if it is going to be keyword optimized, would be 5 business growth mistakes to avoid. Business growth being the keyword. So my title is already optimized because what I know is that my potential clients out there are not looking for business coach. What they're looking for is they're looking for business growth. So this is the keyword, or it could be growing my business, or it could be just variations of that. But that's going to be a potential keyword, which, by the way, was identified for One Action Coach, that particular keyword, business growth, and everything that goes around that. We just noticed that there was a lot of demand in that particular geographic area. Might not be the same for your geographic area, but for the one that we had researched, business growth had quite a bit of traffic for it. A lot of people were looking for that. So we optimized a lot of keywords, a lot of titles, and a lot of pages, and a lot of content around that, and we've seen the traffic grow significantly. So how that would look like in reality, this is a title of the blog is your business model killing your business. It repeats business twice, but the keyword here is killing. It's negative in tone, and this is the title that is going to have you being curious. Do I even have a business model? What is my business model, and what is it? How would I know? Is it killing it? So these would be the struggle of a business owner out there that may be looking at that may draw some interest. You remember, at the end of the day, it's just to draw traffic to your website with having content that is actually valuable for them, that it will get something out of it. So that's really about the title. A blog starts with a great title that is going to help you drive traffic. So that's rule number one. The second part is obviously the content of the blog. And what we know is that the opening paragraph is key. The first two sentences. If you're going to make it or break it right then and there. So you need to make sure that your opening paragraph is thought-provoking. It actually is asking a question, or it's actually try to rattle the cage a little bit. You're going right into this. We're not reading a book here where we're giving the enticing content at the end. We start right off the bat with providing thought-provoking, and we're just going right into it. Now remember, a blog is about 400 to 600 words, so it's not big. It's not a long read. So we just want to get right from the start. We want to get going and have a great opening paragraph. Obviously, 400 to 600 words is the rule. Preferably 600 words, but minimum 400. You don't have to do more than 600 words. That would be your sweet spot. And obviously, the content needs to be optimized. Your title needs to be optimized, but so is your content. And one of the things that we know, which is really key, is that the proper keyword density in a text is about 1%. So if you have 600 words, you don't want to have it more than 6 times in the text. You see, if you have it more than that, the search engine like Google, they have ways to actually look at those keywords, and if it starts to go into, I'm not going to say 2% is dangerous or 2 or 3% is dangerous, but definitely if you go above 4 or 5%, it's going to be a red flag for the search engines. They're going to say it's probably what they call keyword stuffing. So you're just trying to draw traffic by repeating the same thing over and over and over again, and it would not read naturally. So if you're reading a text, if the keyword density is more than 1%, it starts to look unnatural, like you're repeating yourself. So it's a red flag for the search engine, and it's not good. So that's really a rule to keep in mind. The 1 to 2%. My preferred target is 1%, because I know it's going to pass muster with the search engines. Link to relevant sources. If you have references, it's always useful to actually create a link that opens up in a new window to references. So if you're, if you're referencing Harvard Business, then create a link to Harvard Business and push content in that direction. So this is how that looks like. This is the same blog. So this is the opening paragraph. The first thing is a question. It just gets you going right away. It talks to you. It's trying to get you hooked in the text. Um, and the first question is, how much time have you spent designing your business model? And it's got the keyword in there, and it's actually asking you to think. So it just gets you in. Now you got me. It's just not try to set up the tone and opening paragraph is old school and how we used to do and start to set the precedent what we're going to be talking about. You right off the bat we're going in there. Also, it's got bullets. You know, your paragraph should be short and sweet. You don't want to have big blocks of text. That will be a turnoff for people. They have less and less attention span, so you want to kind of like give them like some bolded words and some key and some bullets that will make it easy for people to read. They don't feel like they have to commit a tremendous amount of time in reading this blog. It looks like very easy to read and fairly quick with bullets and keywords that are popping off the page. Okay. An image. You should have a single relevant image, single focus. If you're going to have a picture of people, I would recommend a single person as opposed to a crowd. People will have a better relatedness to one single person as opposed to a whole bunch of people that are trying to focus on one of them, and it becomes distracting. The image is not there to distract. It's here to enhance the image is actually saying a lot of things, but you know, an image is worth 1,000 words. We prefer and we recommend right justified, and I'll show you what I mean by that in the next one example, as opposed to be left justified. There's a particular way that we read text that actually makes it easier if the image is right justified as opposed to left. It's a very little detail, and it's not something that will be a deal breaker, but it's all in the details as far as we're concerned. So if it is going to make it difficult for a small percentage of people to read because the image is less justified, then let's right justify the image. And your image must be optimized, which means that your image needs to have the name. You know, if your image is called 123XYZ whatever .jpeg, that doesn't help you at all. The image should be businessgrowth.jpg. That is the name of the image, and then there needs to be a title and an alt tag. Your webmaster should help you with that, but the image of the blog should be also optimized. So what I meant by right justified, we know that in English, obviously, and even in French and all the Western languages, we read from left to right. So if you're following the line on the left, it's a straight line. It just makes it easier to go to the next line and read and read and read. If you move the picture to the left, then it just breaks the paragraph and it just makes it just that little bit more difficult to read. So that's the the image is there. It's got a nice frame around it. It's just right justified, just there to enhance the text. Little detail, but makes the difference. A CTA, or a call to action. All your blogs needs to have a call to action. That's really at the end of the day what it is about. Ideal would be that the call to action to be relevant with the post. What I mean by that is that if your blog is about business growth, then the call to action should be a business growth help seminar, whatever it is, but it should relate to what the blog is about. Preferably, it's not always easy to do it because you can't always have a call to action to a specific blog, but if you can, then that's really ideal. And it's placed at the bottom or on the side of the blog, not in the middle. I don't particularly, and what we're seeing is people don't particularly like when the call to action is kind of like in the middle. It just seems like it's at a place that you read the blog, and I can see it if it's on the bottom or on the right side. It's just less intrusive, and you'll get a better response. People are turned off by the bombardment of advertisement anyway, so you want to be a little bit more on a soft sell as opposed to the hard sell. That's my recommendation. So how that would look like is if you're looking at this blog, on the right column next to the blog, there's two calls to action. Those calls to action is an offer to download white papers or guides to help you. And obviously, when you click on either of those, they will lead you to a page that will ask for a first name, last name, and email. You don't want to ask for any more than that, but that's just a way to actually capture lead. Now you got them interested about the business model and business growth and whatnot, and then there's a couple of guides that relate to that. So you're most likely going to generate a lead out of that. Well, I wouldn't say most likely, but at least there would be something that would lead to that. You will have some leads that will come out of that particular layout. All right, so obviously the last item of a blog, it just needs to be optimized. It needs to be optimized for search, which means that your blog title should be preferably within 70 characters, and your blog description should be about 140 characters. Where you write your blog should give you the option to actually put what is called the meta description and meta title for your blog. This is where you should put that. It's a short description and a short title for the blog, and this is what the search engine is going to pull. Human readable URL, that means is when your URL is actually, you can read it as opposed to being all kinds of codes. You've probably seen the difference in links that are you couldn't repeat it if you tried, and in some blogs there are actually a string of text that is actually readable. That's what a human readable URL is, and that's how your blog should all be, with human readable URL. And I'll show you that in the next slide. And a posted by picture. That's for the search engines. It's I don't know if you've seen that, but when you search for an item, sometimes there's a little picture next to the item, and some don't. So you need to have a way that all your blogs have a little posted by picture. What we're noticing is that people will be more likely to click on the link in the search engine if there is a small picture than if there's not. Simply because now it's telling me that there's an actual person behind that. This is just not, you know, some random content with some, you know, built by some crappy blogger. This is an actual blog title. There's a person. There's a human readable URL. It gives me the name of the person. It gives me the date, and it's showing me the description, so I can read the first text. So right then and there, you are actually seeing a blog that is most likely going to get clicked. And by the way, it's on page number 1 of the search result. So that's, you know, obviously this is going to get the vast majority of the click. Now, obviously, it would come up number 1 if someone wrote that specific phrase. But if they're going to be writing some variations of that, it's most likely going to come up on page 1 anyway. Okay, so that's the end result, is the little picture, a nice title, human readable URL, and a nice description. Now we're really closing the loop, and we're starting to really get some traction with traffic and leads. So now we're going into the next phase, which is how to promote your blog. So the rule number 1 is be consistent. Consistency is really the key. So I don't care how often you're going to blog, as long as you're consistent. I want that to be rule number 1. Now, I'd like you to blog at least once a week. That would be my recommendation as a digital marketer, a minimum of once a week. Now, you know, obviously, if you don't have the time or the resources to do that, then, you know, once every 2 weeks, and sometimes people just do it once a month. Once a month, it's better than never. But whatever you're going to do, be consistent with it. You know, if it's going to be the first Monday of the month, then be that. And if it's going to be every Monday at 1 o'clock, then that's your time frame. This is when you write a blog, and this is when it's posted. By the way, there's a difference between your blog being posted on your website and when you write the blog. You could be spending an entire weekend writing 4 or 5 blogs, or 10 blogs for that matter, for the month. And then all you're going to be doing is you're going to be posting and scheduling these blogs to be posted at the same time on the same day of the week. So if you choose Monday and Wednesday at 1 p.m., then that is your time frame. Consistency is really important. People can really relate, and they're going to see that, and they're going to say, "Oh wow, it's just really consistent. It's like a well-oiled machine. It comes down. There's no there's no floundering there. It happens." Obviously, posting on social media, it's going to be one of the key, and we're going to address each point like that. Email marketing, obviously using email marketing tool to promote your blog is going to be important. We'll talk about this as well. And there's also your opportunity to guest blog, which means to find other organization like a local chamber of commerce, any kind of local organization. You could say, listen, could you take one of my blog and post it on your website? And you actually will find that a lot of organizations will be delighted to do that, and it is going to give you a tremendous amount of exposure to do that. So by blogging, now it's making you look like an expert in your field, in your area, by using other organizations that are dying to actually getting some valid content that is resourceful to their members, and there you're going to be coming as a great resource for that. And there'll be, I have yet to see an organization that says, "Now we're not interested about your content." They're going to be over the moon to take your blogs and post them there. So get social, which means that promote your blog on social media. So step number one is to actually produce a blog and post it on your website. That is really what you need to be doing. And the next thing is to actually, now we're going to be posting in social media and use social media accounts. You could use some tools. There is HubSpot, there is Infusionsoft, and tools like Hootsuite. Hootsuite is a free tool. I would recommend the premium version, which I believe costs about $10 a month, because it gives you a significantly more stats and more accounts that you can link to and whatnot. But the free version is how the vast majority of us started. We use HubSpot here for our own purposes, and we are a reseller of HubSpot, so obviously we promote it, but it's an amazing tool to being able to schedule and post all your blogs to all your account from one spot. Best day of the week and time of day to post a blog, obviously, and what I put hint, it's not Monday at 8 a.m. and Friday at 5 p.m. This is where you're going to get the most delete. I often ask people, what is it the first thing you do with your email in the morning? On social media, and obviously they're deleting their all their emails, but the right answer is to find a sweet spot for you. When are people? You need to try things. You need to try maybe 6 a.m., 1 p.m. People on their mobile device late at night watching TV, so there's nothing wrong with doing it at 7 or 8 o'clock at night. People are actually going to be looking at that. So you don't need to be within business hours and between the safe hours. You can actually go on weekends and try all kinds of things. At the end of the day, measure is going to be really the key. Just look at what works, do more of that, and then stop doing what doesn't work. If you're seeing a post that actually gets no clicks whatsoever, this was the bad time and the bad day of the week to do it. What we have seen with our clients is LinkedIn is for B2B. I don't know if you've heard that, but this is really where we're seeing 5-to-1 results for some of our clients, which means that for 6 leads that are coming into their website, 5 are coming from LinkedIn from a social media standpoint, and 1 is coming from Facebook, Twitter, and Google Plus combined. So LinkedIn is really what, specifically for B2B, which all Action Coach are, we highly recommend to participate in LinkedIn, belong to various groups of interest, and be engaged. Try to get as many connections as possible, and then promote your content there. Obviously, if you promote content that is valuable, people are going to be receptive to it. If you're trying to promote your services and whatnot, people are not. They're just getting way too many promotions and whatnot. So if on an ongoing basis you promote valuable content, which is what your blogs are, and if you do that, let's say 10 times in a row, the 11th time that you actually are promoting something other than a blog, like let's say an event, it is going to be a lot better received than if all you promote is your services. So it's promote value, promote value, promote value, and then promote a service, and so forth and so on. So the scale needs to be more like 5 to 1 or 10 to 1 as a rule. This is a stat. This is an actual stat from a client and posting their blog in social media. That is their traffic. That's year to date, and this was actually the screen was actually taken about this morning, a few hours ago. So the numbers don't lie. They got 540 visits from LinkedIn, 98 from Facebook, 27 from Twitter, and 5 from Google+. And LinkedIn actually produced 8 leads for them, or 8 contacts, which is a 1.5% ratio. And if you're looking at Facebook, it produced 1 contact, which is a 1% ratio. So it's not bad, and I'm not saying don't post it on Twitter and Google+, but if you're going to be focusing on something here on B2B, LinkedIn is going to be the place, right? So how to promote your blog via email. Send email to your database. Half the content only, a teaser. I'm often surprised when I'm seeing people that are saying the entire content of their blog in an email. And they actually miss the point. The whole point is to actually drive traffic to your website. If you're sending the entire blog, then there's just no reasons for them to click on the link and go on the website. And you've missed the point. The point is to take them, you want to think about it as your website is your store. You want to actually take people inside the store. If you're just sending them a flyer, not giving them any reason to get inside the store, then that's we've missed the point. The same thing there is be consistent. So if you're going to be sending content on a regular basis, just be consistent with it. Do it at the same time, the same time frame, the same kind of look. And then the consistency is just really important. People can have a sense of expectation. They're getting your email on that day at that time, and track your results. At the end of the day, your results and your database and your stats are going to tell you what works and what doesn't work. So do more of what works and stop doing what doesn't. So that's how an email would actually look like. It's mostly text. There's a couple of images. There's actually a logo in the upper left-hand corner, an image to enhance the text, and you can see that there is a link to read the rest of the blog. So the blog there is not giving me everything I need. It's not giving me the entire content. It's just giving me a taste of it. And you can see that the format is half a page. So it's very, very short and sweet. People have very little attention span with emails. They're getting bombarded with email. So number one, make your title count. The title should be enticing. And 2 is just give them all what they need and give them an invitation to click, because if they click on read the rest of the blog, you won. That's how you measure your winning. This is how people actually get to your website. And will then download and become a lead and so forth and so on. So that's the name of the game. And obviously, if you're promoting your blogs, then they're resourceful in context, and people will have a much better tendency to read that and follow and go through the website than if it's not. So then we're getting to the blogging mistakes to avoid. This is what we're seeing out there, obviously, from clients, is the blog is not integrated to the website. They have a blog on Blogger or on WordPress, and it's not integrated as part of the website. That is a big mistake, because it's not doing anything for your business. It's actually promoting WordPress or Blogger. Your blog should be part of your website. People self-promote their services. They're inconsistent. Their topic is off content, like they're writing stuff on their business, on their business website that has nothing to do with what they're doing. It's a little bit odd. No sharing, no comments. It's not optimized. They have an ugly website that is not mobile friendly. So these are the mistakes to avoid. If you can correct all of these, you'll be in good shape. Resources. So we're getting at the end of the presentation now. So if you have an issue with an ugly website and you know it's not really great or it's outdated and whatnot, you can go to adminisolutions.com/action coach. And you will get a link to our services to get a brand new website. So we have some great pricing, starter website all the way to premium. So we got everything in between, but we can get you a great looking website in no time. If you need a mobile optimized website, obviously it's the same link. It's adminisolutions.com/action coach. And we have a lot of more and more clients know that they need to have a blog, and they just simply don't have the time or don't have the talent to write blogs. So you can go to adminisolutions.com/blog writer, and you will get a page that will give you our pricing to get some content written for your company, and we can start the process of writing blogs and posting them on your website and whatnot. So that's the end of the presentation. You can download the presentation at adminisolutions.com/blogprez, PREZ. And it will give you a direct access to the blog. And now it's time for question and answer. I think I'm 2:47. It's the timing is almost perfect, right, Eve?
Almost perfect. Yeah,
almost
that's right,
perfect.
Antoine. I was going to have to butt in if you went any longer. No.
Okay.
We do have a few questions that have come in. The first is from Jeff Knott. His question is, how would we know when we are over the 15 density? Is there a list of words to follow?
It's 1% density, and really the easiest way to do it. There's actually tools out there. Professionals use tools, that are helping them with that. But if you use a tool like a Word document, first of all, you can get a word count, so it'll tell you exactly the number of word count, and then you can do what is Control F, which is Control Find. You put your keyword, and it will tell you how many times it's in the page. So that's really the easiest way to find it is count the number of words. So if it tells you your blog has 650 words, that's that. So therefore, your density should be no more than 6 or 7 of the same keyword. Then do Control F, put the keyword there, and it will tell you, okay, we found it, 8 times, or it's going to say we found it 15 times. You have it way too many times. So maybe it'll say we found it 3 times. So therefore, you don't have it enough, and you need to add it in the opening paragraph, in the closing paragraph, and somewhere in the middle, you need to add your keyword there.
Okay, great. Good question. Another question came in. You showed HubSpot and Hootsuite as automated tools. What is the difference between each of those, and what the pros and cons? Because I know that we here at Action Coach are using Hootsuite.
Right. So Hootsuite, the difference between HubSpot and Hootsuite, that HubSpot is an 800-pound gorilla. HubSpot is it's not inexpensive. That's a nice way to say it's expensive, or it's not cheap. But it's a very, very powerful tool. It's got a lot of bells and whistles. So I would say HubSpot is really an advanced tool for web marketers, for people that are serious and want to invest in digital marketing. Their entry tool, I believe, is about $300 a month. Right, that's the entry price for HubSpot. Now, obviously, it provides significantly more tools in addition to social media posts. It also has an email marketing tool that's integrated in there. It even has a blogging tool. It has page optimization, keyword research, and so forth and so on. So it's got a lot of dials, a lot of research, and a lot of stats. That are, if you're serious and you really want to produce results on your website, we recommend HubSpot. Now, in contrast to that, Hootsuite's tool is $10 a month, and all it does is enables you to post your content to all your social media accounts from one place. That's it. So there's no really comparison between HubSpot and Hootsuite. Outside that, they both have the ability to publish social media but it really depends on where you at. So I would say start with Hootsuite if you don't have any tool, because this is really a great way. And you could sign this afternoon, and it's free. They have a free version of the Hootsuite, and the paid premium version is $10. And then obviously, if you're ready to really tackle digital marketing and whatnot, then HubSpot would be the way to go. And people can contact us, and we can give them a demo and do an introduction, so they can judge if that's for them.
Oh, that would be great. Jeff Knott has another question coming in, I think related to his first question. He put, what about WordPress?
What about WordPress? Well, WordPress is a blog. It's a blog tool, so it's a great blogging tool. The problem that we see about WordPress is that WordPress was designed for blogging purposes and evolved into some content management for the web. The problem that we're seeing with WordPress is that people will have a website somewhere, whether it's pure HTML on their server and whatnot, and because their website doesn't have a blogging capability, then they're creating an outside blog on WordPress or Blogger, and the two are not connected. That's really where it's really missing the point. It's just not really helpful. Your blog should be integrated part of your website. What I know of WordPress is it's a perfectly valid tool. I know some people that have some very successful WordPress websites. We use a different tool, so but at the source of it, it was designed to promote blogs. But if it needs to be part of your website, so find a way to have all of them combined, and then you got it.
Okay, great. So as far as you say that your blog should definitely be integrated with your website, is it best to have the blog as a separate tab on your website, or is it good to have it on the front page somewhere, like a section where all the blogging happens?
I would have as part of the main navigation and being one of the top items. That's our recommendation. I mean, if you look at Action Coach Team Sage, for example, it's one of the main items on their website. You have about us, services, events, our clients, resources, and then blogs. It's right then and there. I mean, it needs to be self-evident. And on top of that, for Action Coach Team Sage, it is also as part of the homepage. There's the listing of the last 3 blogs are posted right there.
Oh, great. Good to see those examples. Thank you. Another question is about Google+. I know that's one of the newer types of social medias. Can you give us more information about that and how people should go about, signing up and utilizing it?
Right. Well, you need to have an account with Google+. Google+ is the new. It's the Google version of Facebook. And it's got significantly less people participating in Google+ that you have in Facebook. But Google+ is the social media tool of the biggest search engine in the world, which is Google. So if you don't think that having traction in Google+ will actually benefit you from a search engine standpoint, you would be sorely mistaken. So we're not seeing a tremendous amount of traffic from Google+ yet, but that would be definitely a social media environment that I would strongly recommend any company and any individual to participate in. Post your content, participate in Google+. The 4 monsters are LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. You need to participate in all 4 of them. The reality is the vast majority of your traffic is going to come from LinkedIn. This is because it's B2B. Most of your leads and most of your traffic from social media is going to come from LinkedIn. But Google+ is one of the social media that we're seeing growing and generating more and more traffic and more interest. So it's just one of the top four. Obviously, you have Facebook and Twitter. In their particular case, they have all of them, including also YouTube, where they've posted their videos. But that's the story about Google Plus.
Wonderful. Thank you for that explanation. So I don't see any more questions. Looks like we'll be ending a little bit earlier. If you want to post up that last page that you had, Antoine, about where people should go to for assistance with your company, either consulting with blogging, right, or if they have interest in signing up for HubSpot to get a demo, then that would be great, since I know you guys are utilizing it as a tool. So I do want to, I do want to thank everyone for attending Admin eSolutions webinar with CEO Antoine Dupont. Thank you very much, Antoine, for that very valuable presentation today.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Everyone who has registered for this webinar, again, will get a recorded email within 24 hours from the GoToWebinar system. And again, we will be creating a Vimeo video of this that we will be emailing to everyone likely next week, and also include his presentation in a PDF form. All right? So thank you again, everyone, for your attendance. This is Eve Fabros, and make it a great day, everyone. Thank you again, Antoine.
Thank you.